In this podcast, Dr. Ken Alibek discusses gut microbiome testing and explores whether these tests are truly worth the investment. He shares his perspective on the value and reliability of currently available gut health tests, and whether there are any that stand out as particularly useful. Dr. Alibek also talks about parasites and their potential role in poor gut health, explaining how they may contribute to digestive issues and impact overall well-being.
What you could say about the tests which are so popular to check for gut issues, for microbiome? Like parents, they do lots of tests and check what bacteria they have or yeast in the guts, just in the guts. And is it good to do like this? Is it worth? Because it's expensive also, yes, to do those tests.
It's a very important and very interesting question. Because can you imagine this? I mean, if we talk about what is the actual composition of microbiome, we're not talking about 20, 30, or 40 pathogens. We have thousands and thousands of different species of bacteria, fungi, viruses. And this is important to keep in mind. If we have a test focusing on a certain bacteria, yes, it gives us some general understanding. But the problem is, if just to see the actual picture, for example, we need to have the tests which would include hundreds, if not thousands, of different bacteria, fungi, and viruses.
Probably it's not even developed.
It's not possible. Yeah, it's not possible. First, and just if we look at all publications coming now, we'll see a big number of publications pointing to a new microbes in the gastrointestinal tract. I can give a very simple example. And people think that microbiome is a kind of stable structure, stable system. It's not stable. For example, if there is a family having no pets, they have, let me say, the family has more or less similar microbiome, the members of the family. Not identical, but similar. Let's imagine we bring some cats, okay, and in 2-3 weeks, we'll see bacteria we have in the cats and the microbiome of humans in this family, and vice versa. Okay, microbiome is shared all the time.
And changing.
Yeah, and changing.
Can it be just that the child has lots of parasitic infections which are causing that issue?
Lab tests very often show whether there is some suspicion of having some parasites. I mean, because there is some parameters.
And they play for some children the biggest role.
No,
I know that they're different, but are there any children who have just very bad guts because of parasites?
First, parasites can be found in many kids. But at the same time, it doesn't mean, for example, the parasites versus pathogenic bacteria, they usually come together. And there is, in this case, it depends on the severity and what we can use for this. Sometimes people try to use some albendazole, methimazole.
Ivermectin, which is
yes, ivermectin just should be used, in my opinion, in case of suspicion of having a very strong helminths. But many parasites, unicellular parasites, can be treated using just simple antibiotics. Sometimes parents are not afraid of using ivermectin. It's one of the most toxic compounds. But at the same time, they're afraid of using simple antibiotics. In this case, I'm not saying that ivermectin is not usable. Sometimes we need to use it using special schedule. But what's important, for example, if we talk about some parasites like Babesia, or some parasite like Toxoplasma.
Tapeworm.
No, just tapeworm. Let me say, we wouldn't be able to use simple antibiotics. We need to use some, strong anti-helmintic medications. But for simple ones, we can use standard antibiotics, which are able to kill both bacteria, pathogenic bacteria, and simple unicellular parasites. It's
Like
possibility.
Giardia, it's metronidazole probably.
For Giardia lamblia, yes, we have several approaches, and actually we can use some antibiotics, like in a number of them. We can use Giardia actually is treatable quite easily.